Hello everyone and welcome to the SCRS Super RallyCross series here in Sonoma, California at the Sonoma Raceway. We're here for the 4th round of 5 scheduled rounds here this summer. We might have a 6th round depending on, we have to figure out some scheduling conflicts and stuff, but we're here tonight with the official heat format in iRacing here. 8 cars are entered, 7 are on track taking times at the moment. And we're just finishing up practice here, and your points leader, Finny D'Acuna, sitting right up there in P1. But back this week, Kurt Crum in that number 6 car back here, hopefully going to compete for the win with that number 94 Subaru WRX. Will Salisbury's back here again. A couple randoms from the hosted lobbies. Alexander Pelican, Cody McCorkle, and Craig Boyce are here. And Brian Sona's back in the Penguin RC Simulations Beetle. So we're back here every 2 weeks on Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern. For SCRS Super RallyCross, and this week we're in the wine country out here in California. It's dry, it's lacking moisture in the ground here with the dead grass, but we're ready to go racing here. The tarmac is nice and hot and slippery. It is 104 degrees down there on that pavement, 78 in the air. Nice, kind of a mild day. No wind at all, so it's kind of stale out there. 5 turns here at the Sonoma Raceway, and we're just getting ready to start qualifying. And we're going to have to look and see if that number 94 of Finny D'Acuna can keep up with his dominant fashion, winning and sweeping both races at our last round. Already out on track, Andrew Mickey in the Bombshell Motorsports Ford Fiesta. That's the number 86. Up and over the jump he goes. Will Salisbury and Brian Sohn on track. Cody McCorkle as well as the number 8 of Craig Boyce. He's got his paint scheme loading in there. He's Scott Speed inspired Volkswagen Beetle. And there's Salisbury in his WRX. Running right now, very competitive, very quick. And at Daytona last time around was exceptionally impressive, especially for his first week here in the series. So we should expect to see him running well here this evening. Finny D'Acuna is on track in the number 94 Sim Motorsports Red Bull Subaru WRX. And again, their points leader by a pretty significant margin in the East Series, by a little bit in the West, and by a little bit overall. And looking to defend his weekend sweep a couple weeks ago there at Daytona. So here he is making his way around for qualifying. Andrew Mickey currently on pole. Will Salisbury is going to up him. Salisbury again in that gray and blue WRX making his way around. Brian Sohn jumps to P3, but in the wall with that Penguin RC Simulations Beetle, and he's going to back out of it and head back to the pit lane. Meanwhile, Finny D'Acuna is working his way through his qualifying lap, and we expect him to be quick, and as he jumps to the top of the board by 0.7 of a second, and this is the kind of stuff that you expect to see out of a champion, and so far this season, he's gotten lucky with a couple people not showing up to races, but pretty spectacular performances by D'Acuna in that number 94 each and every week, and it looks to be like he's got the pace here again this week. So that's going to bump Salisbury down to 2nd in the 77. And last time by bests his time again with a 42.473. Up and over the jump goes D'Acuna again. A little bit of nose damage to the front of that WRX, so that's going to happen here. Just the violent jump over there coming out of turn, I believe that's 2 over there at Sonoma. Salisbury's working his way around turn 1. Kurt Crum is back here in the WRX this week in the number 6. And it's good to see him back out here. Missed a couple rounds, but he is back and ready to go. The first time in the Subaru. But we expect to see him be competitive. And he's got a little ways to go to catch up to the leader. But look at Will Salisbury now jumping up to within 0.07 of your leader, D'Acuna. And with a minute left in qualifying, time is running out. And Alexander Pelican has not taken a time, but Craig Boyce has. He's about 3.4 seconds off the pace of your leader. Kurt Crum jumps to 3rd. And D'Acuna's off track. Looks like he's going to be content for the time being. So Salisbury real close, a 42.5 to a 42.4 by the number 94. And you see Kurt Crum just catching the tire barrier, so he is not going to best his time, but he's got Another chance to go back out there and run a good time if he can get it rolling, but Brian Sohn still on the track but parked. Will Salisbury is the only one still out on the racetrack right now. Minute and 10 seconds left in qualifying. He'll get another attempt at a lap here once he completes this one. Something different about Sonoma than a lot of the other tracks is there's so much dirt here, more so than there is at any other racetrack. The whole back half of the course is covered in dirt, makes it a very technical part of this Sonoma Raceway. And so Salisbury's going to take one more attempt at this lap. A little bit sideways coming up across the jump, and that's really part of the key, is landing these cars dead straight. You don't want to be sideways when you come down off that jump, or you're going to lose forward momentum. You see him, little dab of the handbrake, slides it in, and a little bit wide. He's going to be off course, and he'll get back on, but he's going to give up the lap, and that'll be it for qualifying. So, on the pole is going to be 94, Finian Takuna for Sim Motorsports in the Red Bull WRX. That is not a surprise to us there, and he'll beat the number 77 of Will Salisbury by 0.07 of a second, followed then by the 6 of Kurt Crum, the 86 of Andrew Mickey, the 0.3 of Brian Sohn, the 2 of Cody McCorkle, the 8 of Craig Boyce, and the 5 of Alexander Pelican. And qualifying is complete. Checkered flag waving. And we will get set for some heat racing here. So we're setting up, we're gridding for this race. So your first heat race here, Finian Takuna, Kurt Crum, Brian Sohn, and Craig Boyce are in this first heat. And we'll be waiting for the flag or the lights to turn red, and then instantly or a couple seconds later, they'll turn green and set these guys loose. Waiting on just on the number 6 of Kurt Crum. There he is. Wait for the red lights. There they are. And the countdown is going to begin. 5 laps. Oh, we got a jump start by Kurt Crum. He's just going to take off and take any advantage that he can get. So Kurt Crum jumps out to an early lead, but he's going to have to give it up quick. Meanwhile, Finian Takuna, who started on pole, is now in second, but that is going to become the lead. So really, this is your battle right now. You see Kurt Crum driving away there, but he's going to have to... He's serving a penalty later. We'll have to see where he stacks up. So Finian Takuna now. Shown in third, behind Brian Sohn in that Penguin RC Simulations Beetle. Craig Boyce has fallen behind this group just a little bit. But this is the battle, really, for the lead here between Brian Sohn and Finian Takuna. Down on the brakes, Takuna slides to the inside. Oh! Sohn almost goes up and over. Almost rolls it in the final turn 5 there. So Finian Takuna is going to take over the second spot and move forward. I'm still rolling away, but Takuna and Sohn right now in control of this thing. Craig Boyce is off the track. Not sure if that will be a retirement for the number 8 car. So out in front, just a critical mistake by the 6 of Kurt Crum to jump that start, and he's going to be suffering it. But everyone will make the show tonight. Not quite enough starters to bump anyone. So he will be in the final feature race. But Takuna's got to be loving this, seeing his rival there. He's going to go for his first of 2 jokers. So 1 joker down for the number 94. So Kurt Crum has already taken both of his jokers. We didn't really catch that, but so he has kind of taken his strategy and laid it all out on the table early, but Takuna and Sohn have yet to take any of theirs. Riding on board now with the 0-3. We'll jump up to the 94. Watch his on board so close to the tire barriers here. We'll pull it nice and tight to the apex. Up and over. 2 laps to go now in this first heat. And Crum actually has the pace. He's actually, his best time is only about 0.4 off the pace of the 94 of Dakuna, but he's actually holding the 2.6 second lead pretty easily. He did obviously get that big jump from the start, but Dakuna's been chasing him down for several laps now. Hasn't quite gotten there. So we'll keep an eye on this. But Crum comes around. He's going to be looking at the white flag next time by here. Dakuna closed in a big chunk that time by. And he's going to take his second Joker. Or no, he doesn't. He stays on course there. It looked like he was going for a Joker there. So he's going to have one more opportunity to take his. Brian Sohn has already taken both of his, so Dakuna's the only one left with a trick up his sleeve. Oh, he's in the tire barriers. Dakuna slams into the tire barriers. That's going to be significant damage to the nose of that WRX. Can he hold on to second? Looks like he might, but I don't know how much damage he has to the nose of that Subaru. Does not look insignificant. He clobbered it pretty well. So Kurt Crum is going to come around the final corner, checkered flag waving. We'll see where the penalty puts him. And Finian takes his second and final Joker, and will stay ahead of the 0-3 of Brian Sohn, but a mistake by Dakuna there. We'll see where they get reordered, or if they will at all. And looks like Kurt Crum's going to get put to the last running car, so that puts Finian Dakuna in control of that heat. So heat 1 is complete. We're heading on to heat 2 now. And we're gridding for the second of 2 heats. Red lights are on. And they're out. Green flag is in the air here. 3 cars. Alexander Pelican did not grid. So it's just Will Salisbury, Andrew Mickey, and Cody McCorkle. You see the 2 battling for the lead here on the exit of the corner. Are we going to see an early Joker? Any strategy played by these guys? Nope, they're all going to follow each other. 1, 2, 3. Up and over the jump. As we begin this race, 5 laps to go. So Andrew Mickey jumps out to an early lead. Oh, Cody McCorkle is going to run a little bit wide. He'll keep it on course, but just barely. Meanwhile, for the lead, Andrew Mickey is being stalked by that 77 of Salisbury, who was really quick in practice. Riding on board now with the 77. He's going to tuck it in nice and tight. This is going to be a battle and a half here. No Jokers. Still following each other, 1, 2, 3. Mickey still holding on to the lead, but Salisbury blinking there for a second, but he's back. This is really where it gets very technical here. You see, we'll ride with McCorkle. You can watch Salisbury closing that gap. Oh, Salisbury's off. He's off in the dirt. A little bit of damage to the nose of that car. So he'll have 3.5 laps to get back up to Andrew Mickey. And it looks like Salisbury's going to go for a Joker now. He's going to take one. Where he's going to pop out right in front of Andrew Mickey. So a great Joker pass there by the 77 of Salisbury. He's going to put Mickey back to second. But of course, this kind of ties the hands of Salisbury now. He's got 1 Joker left, and he's going to have to use it effectively to get farther ahead of the 86. I think he's quicker on raw pace, and it looks like Salisbury doesn't have a... Ooh, Salisbury's in the tire barrier just, again, a little bit. Making it with the right front. Oh, wow, we can see Mickey wheeling it. Oh, and Cody McCorkle goes up and over, rolls over, and he's going to get back going again. These things are kind of like tin cans, but there's Andrew Mickey through the Joker now. He's going to pop out in front of Salisbury again. As I was saying, these cars tend to roll over. They have a kind of a high center of gravity and soft suspension, so they will roll on you, but they're pretty strong cars, especially on the roof. They're kind of like tin cans. You just roll them over and they can get back going again. As long as you don't damage the fenders too much. The suspension is quite soft and will take damage pretty easily, but we got 2 laps to go now, and you see Salisbury closing in. Oh, this is going to be a close battle between these front two. Still one Joker left for each of these drivers. Looks like Andrew's going to go for one. This is his last Joker. And Salisbury's just going to try to get a clean run up and over the jump. Nice and tidy. You see Andrew Mickey, they're popping back into view. Got a great run off the corner. And now heads into the white flag lap. Cody McCorkle's off track. And he's retired. And meanwhile, up in front, Andrew Mickey leading by 2.3 seconds over Salisbury. And it's going to come down to the final corner. 2.2 seconds now. How much is the Joker worth here at Sonoma? Salisbury goes for it. And out ahead he comes of the 86, and Salisbury's going to win it in the final corner. A great strategic move. Let's watch that again. Cuts up and over. And pops out in front of that 86 to take the victory here at Sonoma. Gridding up now for the feature race. 10 laps here at Sonoma. Here in wine country, the red lights are on. And they're out. Green flag in the air here at Sonoma. 5 cars coming to the green. Salisbury's going to nose ahead. Side by side, Brian Sohn and Andrew Mickey. Mickey clears Sohn. They head down the front straightaway for the first time. Salisbury got out to a good jump ahead of the 94 of DeCuna. Oh, Sohn drove it in there deep. He's going to get a little wide. Here comes... That's the 6 of Kurt Crum that's going to drive around him. DeCuna's got to chase down Salisbury. I mean, honestly, any finish ahead of the 6 of Kurt Crum is going to be a good day for DeCuna, but he wants to win this as much as anybody else out there. Salisbury leads. DeCuna, Mickey. Here goes Salisbury for a Joker. And we know how Finian likes to do this. He likes to take his Jokers late and use them as a very strategic move at the end. He likes to take them, really, the last 2 or 3 laps he likes to make those moves. So he'll let Salisbury get out in front. He'll just run his own clean laps. Meanwhile, Mickey in second, or excuse me, third, Kurt Crum in fourth. We'll pull up the Joker information, keep an eye on the Jokers, but Salisbury takes one early to get out ahead. Honestly, not a bad move by the 77 to get some clear track. Now I have to worry about that 94 closing in the mirror. But here comes Kurt Crum, closing in on the 86 of Andrew Mickey. He's got to get around him soon to go compete with that number 94. Nobody Jokers this time by. Sohn's going to take it, but he's going to slide wide up and across the poster boards there underneath the Joker lap gantry, and he's going to be kind of rounding out the field here in 5th place. Meanwhile, up front, Salisbury's got a 3.1 second lead over the 94 of DeCuna. Andrew Mickey's going to have to defend from a charging Kurt Crum, but everyone's kind of strung out where they belong about now. Oh, DeCuna runs wide, but that's all fair game here. He can run as wide as he wants, as long as you're not in the wall. And looks like Crum's going to take a Joker this time by, try to use it to get ahead of Andrew Mickey, and he will. Looks like it's worth really about 2 to 4 seconds is really what it'll get you. Actually, out front, Salisbury's actually running quicker than that of the 94 Finian DeCuna, which is not something I expected to see. DeCuna's got to go chase him down quick if he wants to have a chance at him. Meanwhile, Kurt Crum is kind of holding that lead over Mickey. We're coming to 6 to go at the line already, and the lead dwindles just a little bit down to 3 seconds. Salisbury's taken both his Joker laps, though, and DeCuna's got a lot left up his sleeve, and I think that's where that gap has come from. So DeCuna going to go around again, saving his Jokers for later. But I think that's what we were looking at is, see Kurt Crum going over the jump pretty violently there. Salisbury took his Jokers early. He's done now. He's stuck. He's just got to outrace Takuna, but Takuna's got 2 jokers left, and they're worth a lot more than 2.5 seconds, which is how far he is back from the leader right now. Crum has a healthy lead over Andrew Mickey. Brian Stone has fallen about 4 seconds behind Mickey. And has already taken both his jokers. So Andrew Mickey and Takuna are both jokerless, I guess is for lack of a better term. Will Takuna take one this time? No. He's going to close in now 2.1 seconds between the 2 leaders. Oh, look at Takuna going over the jump kind of sideways. Wow, Kurt Crum also aggressive over those jumps. Mickey's a lot smoother over them. But the smooth is not really working out for him today. Salisbury maintaining that 2-second lead. Well, the last time by, Finian was 0.8 of a second quicker. And didn't even take a joker. So you got to watch that 94. He's a real threat to win here today. And don't forget that we have the West Series race coming up here shortly after. And these guys are mostly running for points in the overall championship, but they have separate championships as well. See Takuna again violently up and over that jump. Gap is 2.5 seconds now. So last time by, Salisbury is just about 0.3 of a second quicker. Takuna still got both jokers up his sleeve. Andrew Mickey has fallen off the pace about almost 6 seconds back from Kurt Crum. So that battle was waged early, but looks like for now it's going to be over until Mickey can use those jokers to his advantage. Although he's already taken one. Does Takuna take one? Yes, he does. This time by, he's going to take one. Closes in now less than a second. 3 laps to go. Now a 0.6 of a second. That 94 is closing. Doesn't take it this time by. 2 laps to go now. Finian's got that throttle pegged to the floor coming to the start-finish line. Kurt Crum also has a joker left, as does Andrew Mickey. We'll see if... Oh, Mickey's up and over, rolling, barrel rolling. Will he get going? He does. Up and over again he goes. He's going to head back to pit lane. That'll be a retirement most likely. Trying to find a replay, but we can't cut away from the action too much. Looks like Andrew's back on track, but almost a lap down now. 2 laps to go. Will Takuna take his second and final joker? Andrew Mickey does. Takuna's got that gap less than a second. Looks like Andrew's going to get out of the way. But it's white flag here at Sonoma. Salisbury's led every lap so far. Can Takuna pull the last lap joker move and get ahead of the 77? Let's ride on board with them. Couple more corners left. 0.9 of a second was the gap. The checkered flag is waving. Here comes Takuna for his joker. Can he get a good run out of it? Coming to the checkers. Who's going to get there first? Finian Takuna comes to the line ahead of the 77 by 0.3 of a second and will take the victory here for the Super Rallycross East Series here in Sonoma, California. A phenomenal finish. Just well-executed race strategy by Takuna. You can see him pulling in there. He's going to pull ahead right in front of that 77. A phenomenal last lap maneuver. And we'll get the 94 of Finian Takuna for Sim Motorsports. Another victory here for the SCRS Rallycross Series. We're going to go to break real quick. And we will be back shortly with your winner, Finian Takuna. Welcome back to Sim TV. We're here with Sim Motorsports driver Finian DeCuna, the driver number 94, Red Bull Subaru WRX. Finian, that was a fantastic strategy. Walk us through those last couple laps there.
Well, really, the last couple laps, I was just trying to see if I can get close enough to Will because I wasn't entirely sure of how much time I would gain from the Jokers. So I was thinking, all right, if I get within 2 seconds, I definitely got him. And at the end, I don't think I needed that much. And I was kind of just panicking behind the wheel of the car because I wasn't sure if I was close enough. And at some point, I was just like, all right, I got to just go and take the Jokers and just hope for the best and don't mess them up. And I almost actually messed up the last Joker, and Will almost won that, so that came down to the wire.
Yeah, so walk us through. You always like doing this late Joker strategy, and it seemed to work out really well. You swept a couple weeks ago at Daytona, and it seems to be working out pretty well for you here. And I don't want to pull away from your race strategy for the next race, but it's working pretty well. So is that just a conscious, does that strategy change throughout the race as you're kind of working with your competition, or is that something you walk into every race kind of knowing you're going to do?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that, like as I was driving. But yeah, no, it's pretty much I just go off of the way everyone else goes. I usually never like to Joker on the first lap or like first 2 laps because I try to see, what are other people doing, and then do it accordingly. Because I like to drive a clean racetrack ahead of me, so I can get a better time. So if the guys ahead of me are going to Joker, I'm probably not going to Joker and just try to gain up some time and then Joker later to pass them.
Yeah, thank you, Finian. And speaking of clear racetrack, Will Salisbury had clear racetrack for almost the entire race, but the last corner slipped away from you, Will. Tell us a little bit about those last couple laps.
Well, it was, I don't want to ruin it, but I had jumped the start. I thought I timed it well, and apparently I did not. So I had a 10-second penalty from the first corner on. So my plan after that was just to take the Jokers immediately on the first 2 laps and get them out of the way and just try and extend as big of a lead as I could. Unfortunately, Finian is a very quick driver, and he was reeling me in every lap. I thought he was taking his Jokers when he was catching up so quickly, but he's just that good of a driver, I guess, that he was able to reel me in. And he did what I did in the heat race, just take the Joker on the last lap and get by me. I mean, it was a good race at that point, but it really didn't matter for me because I already ended up finishing behind him, likely a third place. But it was still fun. This was my first time on the Sonoma circuit. I have not turned a lap on the RallyCross track here before practice, so to run up front and to run quick times like that is very great. It's a good night, regardless. So I'm pleased with that. And one of these nights, I'll get everything together and it'll come together, and we'll have a good, clean race for official standings. But it was fun. I like wielding this Subaru WRX Rallycross car with the hashtag Forever41 on the side. Just want to send all our condolences to our opposing dirt friends in the World of Outlaws guys who lost a great driver this week. So with that in mind, we're going to move on to the next race next week, and hopefully we get a solid result.
Well said, Will, and thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the West race here in a couple minutes.
Thanks.
All right, and that'll finish up our broadcast here for the East Series. Again, we have the West Series coming up here in about 20 minutes, so we'll get the practice for that underway and out of the way. And we'll be back up here live in 20 minutes for the West Series race, and we'll break down the results after that race is finished. So Finian DeCuna extends his points lead here in the East Series race. The West Series race is coming up here shortly, and the overall championship, DeCuna pulls a little bit farther away from Kurt Crum and that number 6. Thanks for watching. We'll be back here shortly for the other race.